Week one is officially in the books. We spent the last couple days dissecting our teams, the individual players. How did our team do? What will they do next? Well, as I went down and broke down the tape with this trusty clicker, I found my top 6 performers when I'm talking about individual players from week one in Pac-12 play. Number one, he used to call Pullman home, but now it's Tucson. It's Jaden Grant. He went down to San Diego and put on an absolute show for Jed Fish. Almost 300 yards of passing, 4 touchdowns. He was perfect. He was literally perfect. He dominated in his first start in this pro-style offense, and he got a lot of help. Jacob Cowie, Tetero McMillan, the run game, the offensive front. I love how he showed up in his first game under Jed Fish in this system. Number 2, I'm staying at the quarterback position, and I'm staying in California, just driving up the coast a little bit, and that is Caleb Williams. Had the honor of calling USC's home opener in the Lincoln Riley era, and Caleb Williams was exactly what I think people thought he would be. In his only 8th start at quarterback in his career, it looked effortless at times. He was efficient. Mechanically, his feet were tied to his eyes. He was almost perfect, 19 to 22, 200, almost 50 yards, 2 touchdowns. He, to me, is a legitimate Heisman candidate to keep an eye on as the season progresses. Want to make sure we still recognize only 8 starts in his career. It's going to get a lot more challenging as he gets into the schedule. Conference play begins this weekend. But when you watch him, not only on the field, but on the sideline, his body language, his demeanor, this young man does it all. If you want more information on him, check out the It Factory this week on Pac-12 Insider. The third best performance, I thought, from the weekend was the aforementioned Jacob Cowie, the transfer from Utah. Look, their coaching staff have been talking about this young man all of training camp. We saw glimpses of him in the spring, but on a big stage against San Diego State, when people didn't really know what they would see from Arizona offensively, 8 grabs, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was a career high for him and the most by a Wildcat since Caleb Jones did that in 2014. Keep an eye, keep circling him as you watch Arizona, especially this weekend, against Mike Leach and Mississippi State. Fourth best performance is Michael Penick, staying in the quarterback position. Man, he was awesome. Another transfer. 7 transfers at quarterback started in the Pac-12 this weekend alone, and Michael Penix, he thrived. And at UW, we saw offense. It's been a minute since we see offense. 345 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, and you felt that power of an arm, his decision-making, even his legs at times. I love what we've seen early on from Kalen DeBoer and his quarterback transfer from Indiana. 2 weeks. We know what is on schedule for them. Michigan State comes to town. Keep an eye on Michael Penix. Number 5, it was really hard for me. I got to go to the defensive side. I'm going to go with Jaden Grant, the defensive player of the week in Pac-12 football. But I got to give love to all those guys. Jaden Grant, Rajon Wright, Alex Austin, they all had a pick. This secondary is real. When you can play press coverage in this league, especially when you play teams like USC and Stanford who can throw the football, you need to play man-to-man coverage. This team can do it. I am in on Oregon State. Props to that trio on defense. Jaden Grant will give you the honor this week. And finally, number 6, in a loss, you cannot ignore what Brandt Keith does for Utah. He was all over the field against Florida. Granted, a losing effort, but man, was this game exciting. And I think I speak on behalf of everybody in Salt Lake City. They had every chance to win this game. You look at Brandt Keith, 9 grabs, over 100 yards, targeted 13 times. Team's going to have to find a way to take him away, or he's going to have a monster season for the Utes. So there it is. Based on the film, week 1, we go offense, defense. I know lean a little heavy towards the quarterbacks, but hey, the conference of quarterbacks, well, one might say, might be back at that position.